now at 10, the temps keep climbing with a dangerous heat wave expected this week. We'll show you how to stay safe and beat the heat as we approach the holiday weekend. But first, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Annette Montgomery. We have issued a weather impact alert for the next several days as the heat builds. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joins us now with the first check of the forecast. Rachel, we are starting to feel that heat.
Oh yeah, it was very warm outside today already, Annette, and we are just getting started. Tomorrow will be day one of our heat wave that will last into Sunday. However, we think the combination of heat and humidity will really be Wednesday through Saturday, and that's when the heat index could be up to as high as 110 degrees. That's impressive. But actual temperatures could hit 100 for Thursday and Friday away from the shoreline. So it's just a reminder to take care of yourself, check in on neighbors, pets. We deal with heat all the time here in Connecticut, but again, sometimes you're out having fun, staying cool, and the heat can catch up to you. A couple showers out there this evening. We'll take all the rain we can get before this heat wave gets underway. We'll continue to see a spot shower, an isolated rumble of thunder as we head through the overnight hours. And that's because the humidity is starting to increase, and it'll be soupy by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. And the heat and humidity, it's on by Wednesday with highs well into the 90s. We'll take a look at your full forecast, including that high heat index in the coming days in just a bit, Annette.
Thank you, Rachel. And with that heat wave expected to hit us, several people will be running to turn up the AC. Fox 61's Kate Pattyfoot spoke to people in Manchester about other ways they're managing to stay cool for the second day in a row.
The manager at Ace Hardware store in Manchester tells me people have been coming in non-stop for fans, ACs, and even kiddie pools. It seems like everyone is making sure their home is prepared for the heat this week, and you can't blame them.
Folks are coming in even looking to take care of the insulation in their doors and windows, because just as important as keeping the cold out in the winter is keeping the heat out in the summer.
Ron Zaffer is the store manager at Ace Hardware in Manchester. He says as quickly as the ACs are going, they are coming.
We will be getting more ACs in. The warehouse is going to be fulfilling a lot of ACs this week, so come on down and see us. Give us a call.
Customers tell me to stay cool, they are running multiple ACs and fans throughout their house.
Unfortunately, the missus does run the fans all night, all the time, yeah. Got a ceiling fans, a box fans going too. Like, she loves fans. Me, I might have a hoodie on the house because it's so cold.
We have those portable air conditioners that, are on wheels, and we have several of those. So they're running, and if obviously when we go out, the air conditioner in the vehicle is cranked up.
And with many things running, that could impact your electric bill next month. Are you worried about what your bill may look like for next month?
Absolutely, it's going to be sky high. Sky high. I'm definitely scared about that one.
You have to do what you have to do to stay cool, so it doesn't, affect you.
Shannon Smolin says there are other cost-saving things you can use to stay cool.
We've carried a couple different items, especially from Ego, that we have that are battery operated rather than using straight electricity. And then we thankfully have little kiddie pools, especially for those dogs and those kids during those hot days too.
A tip you may or may not know to keep your home cool is to close the blinds when you leave. Also, if you are in need of a cooling shelter, we will have a full list on fox61.com. In Manchester, Kate Pattyfoot, Fox 61.
Great tips to stay cool. And if this weather makes you want to stay away from your stove, you're not alone. With this extreme heat this week, a lot of people are expected to choose restaurants or takeout instead, which means a lot of chefs are taking on the heat for you. Fox 61's Celine Arif gives us a peek into their world and how they manage to do their job when it gets this hot.
Here at Cheeks Chicken and Waffles, they're giving out free water to anybody who needs it this week. And for their staff, they're taking extra steps to keep them safe too. Some say the best meals are the ones you don't have to cook or clean for. And at this Manchester restaurant, they're happy to do the work for you, no matter the weather.
We are here for you guys, whoever needs, a meal and they don't want to cook in the kitchen, but as a restaurant, it's our job to take care of people and our community.
Hasib Ahmed owns this halal joint and says working in a hot kitchen is no joke on a regular day. But throw in 100+ degree temperatures, and now you really have to be careful.
We do have ACs, but sometimes it's in the kitchen. It gets so hot because of the fryer, grill.
That's why he's had a talk with his staff about why they need to take this heat seriously and prioritize their health before anything else.
It's very important even for our staff to stay hydrated and taking short breaks whenever possible. I told them to store extra bottle of waters in the cooler back there, and we put extra fans and there, and we do have a AC, but still we need some fans to circulate the air in the kitchen.
For some people like Skylar Jeffrey, restaurants that stay open on hot days are a lifesaver.
Go out to eat and also, like I said, have something that's a little bit more cool or some small appetizers. That's usually my go-to in weather like this.
Ahmed says the restaurant industry adapts to all kinds of weather because it's how they stay in business. And while some people complain about the heat, they're grateful for all the customers it brings in.
Running a restaurant and a kitchen, it's really get tough sometimes for us. But you know, we can't afford to take a day off, take even a small break because we run day-to-day operations here.
He invites anyone to stop in for a free water this week or a hot meal that doesn't heat up their house. The owner says on hot weeks like this, restaurants appreciate the extra patience while your meal is cooked over a hot flame. In Manchester, Solene Arif, Fox 61.
And with the heat headed our way, Eversource is sharing tips to help manage your energy usage this summer. The company said keep air conditioners as low as comfort allows. For every degree higher you can keep your thermostat, AC will use 1 to 3% less electricity. A few other tips include keeping air vents and heat pumps clear to maintain airflow, keeping blinds closed, and operating major appliances during the cooler parts of the day, like in the morning. Every step helps put less strain on the electric grid. And of course, remember, you can check the Fox 61 app during this hot stretch for the latest conditions and weather impact alerts. You can also stream our newscasts no matter where you are. Right now, we're following breaking news in Waterbury tonight after several people were forced out of their homes by a fire. It happened tonight at Country Wood Condominiums on Hitchcock Road. Firefighters say at least 2 condo units were damaged. At this time, officials say 4 people are displaced and they expect that number to rise. The good news is no one was hurt and the fire marshal is on scene right now investigating the cause. We'll take a look. The West Hartford community came together today in support of a West Hartford businessman, Sayal Sekunjonen. He was arrested by ICE agents in a Dunkin' parking lot on Park Road back on June 20th. That arrest happened just blocks from the Portobello restaurant, one of the businesses he owns. Today, the community demanded answers and action, calling for his release while reflecting on the situation.
It makes you weep. It does, you know, but I think we have to go forward and hold close to us what is dear and the advantages that I've had growing up in this country to make sure that everyone gets those same advantages, yeah. So just to be mindful, really, to be mindful about what's going on.
And we have reached out to immigration enforcement for more information on why Sekunjonen was arrested, but we have yet to hear back. State officials say Sekunjonen has a pending application for lawful permanent residency in the United States. He's currently being held in Rhode Island, according to his family. His family also says they have retained a lawyer and are now working to bring him home. Tonight, reaction is pouring in across New Britain after the Office of the Inspector General released body camera footage from an officer-involved shooting last week. The video shows a New Britain police detective returning fire after investigators say a suspect shot at officers during a foot chase. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules is in New Britain with a closer look at that footage and why some people say they believe the officers' actions were justified.
Investigators say the 2 suspects were involved in a shooting on Union Street just minutes before officers tried to stop them. The people I spoke with say although it's unfortunate a teenager was shot, they think the officer acted appropriately after coming under fire.
We shout out police brutality, but what are the police to do if someone's running around shooting with a gun?
After watching the body camera footage, Nikisha Osborne says the detective had little choice but to defend himself. The video shows New Britain Police Detective Niederman returning fire at a 17-year-old suspect during a foot pursuit. It happened last Wednesday when police officers responded to reports of shots fired at a home on Union Street. When they arrived, investigators say they found shell casings outside and bullet holes in the home. Zakia Leardman lives there. She previously told Fox 61 the bullets just missed her 3-month-old son.
People will say it's excessive force, but what force are you supposed to use when someone is running around with a gun and could have shot a 3-month-old baby or anyone else?
According to the Office of the Inspector General report, 9 minutes later they were told the two men matching the description were acting suspicious near a bank on Main Street. When officers attempted to stop them, they ran. They were pursued by 4 officers. The chase continued to a parking lot near 1 Herald Square. During the chase, one of the suspects fired their gun at Detective Niederman. The detective quickly returned fire, hitting the suspect several times. He was taken to a nearby hospital for treatment and is expected to recover. The other suspect, identified as 18-year-old Osain Gale, was found with a high-magazine gun, according to the Inspector General's report. Both teens were taken into custody. Gale faces multiple charges, including illegal possession of a firearm. A woman who asked to not be identified says it's troubling to see people so young involved in violent crime.
So young for him to be shooting at innocent people and trying to run for the police.
As the Office of the Inspector General continues the investigation, Osborne says she's glad the suspects are off the streets.
If the officer did something wrong in that situation, the way he handled it, it'll play out. But I'm glad that he was caught.
The 17-year-old suspect was charged with several offenses, including criminal attempt at assault in the first degree and unlawful discharge of a firearm. In New Britain, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.
213 Bar and Grill in West Haven has been ordered to shut down as a result of a special task force the city put in place. The state says the business poses an immediate risk to public safety. Investigators say the bar was packed with about 120 people during a weekend inspection. That's nearly double its legal capacity. They also say staff locked the doors, delayed officers from getting inside, and ignored repeated safety warnings. Now, additional temporary closings include Moby Dick's, El Rincon, and Scoreboard Cafe has had their kitchen temporarily closed. The mayor has also issued an executive order to shut down Bar 93 and Patron Beach Bar during the holiday weekend because of crowd control issues. Tonight, police in Bridgeport are sending out a warning, reminding people to be careful on the roads after 5 serious crashes involving motor scooters, with the most recent happening tonight. Now, police say that recent crash happened on Island Brook Avenue Extension and Chopsy Hill Road. A 15-year-old who was on the scooter is currently in critical condition. A 19-year-old who was also on the scooter is in the hospital with serious injuries. As you can see on your screen right there, there were 4 others in this month alone. Police also say back in May, a 61-year-old Bridgeport man died in a motor scooter crash on Huntington Park Turnpike. Police are now reminding everyone that there are a large number of scooters, motorcycles, and e-bikes on the road during the warmer months, and they are often difficult to see and hear.